The Boneshark is Subnautica's equivalent of a middleweight boxer. It might not be the heaviest fighter on the planet or pack the biggest punch, but the Boneshark lives for a brawl, whether that's with small creatures who don't really stand a chance or the hydraulic arm of a prawn suit. Bonesharks are large and powerful predators that tend to live in small groups. While we don't have an exact confirmed size for the creature, they appear to be slightly longer than stalkers, which would make Bonesharks around 17 to 18 foot long. Typically slow and unresponsive creatures, Bonesharks survive on a diet of small fish, but don't be fooled, as they're capable of incredible bursts of speed and are highly aggressive when hunting and defending their territory, and are more than happy to eat anything they can get their teeth into that ventures too close. Their slow and plodding nature is likely a method of energy conservation, with the creatures picking and choosing when they attack to be most effective. Bonesharks can be found in a number of 45-46B's biomes, ranging from the underwater islands to the bulb zone and the cragfield, although the creatures have been spotted in other locations, occasionally popping up in the Grand Reef, the Mushroom Forest, and even the Crash Zone, with Bonesharks known to have chased their prey all the way into the kelp forest and the grassy plateaus. As implied by its name, the Boneshark is covered in a thick purplish grey plated exoskeleton with orange accents. This suggests that the creature is either prey to some larger predator or that they regularly get into fights that could cost them their lives, and what might surprise you is that these brawls are typically against other members of its own species. Bonesharks have been seen to attack each other seemingly at random, and if this is what they can do to their own kind, just imagine what they could do to you. The Boneshark's head has 4 large spiky protrusions that make it look somewhat dragon-like. The Boneshark's mouth is also one of the planet's most unique, with the creature's teeth actually being an extension of its hard exoskeleton rather than sitting in gums within the creature's mouth. These teeth will deal 30 damage to the average human, with the creature's bite dealing 15 damage to sea moths and 5 to prawn suits. On either side of the creature's skull sit large bioluminescent green eyes, and if you look closely you will see they have slit-like pupils. These type of eyes are typically found on nocturnal predators, as they can expand and contract more than normal eyes. During the day this can protect their eyes from bright light, but at night this allows them to see prey more easily in low light environments, using its eyes to pick out the most beautifully coloured victims to attack. Bonesharks prowl the seas day and night, and while these eye specialisations suggest it could be better at hunting at night than during the day, this isn't reflected in gameplay. If the PDA is to be believed, you should carry a bucket load of glow sticks, as the creature can be distracted by light sources. Just throw one into the deep and the Boneshark will be forced to chase it like a giant aquatic golden retriever. Oh, isn't that cute? Wait, it hasn't been distracted at all. Oh god, stay away from me. So the lesson here is don't go believing everything the PDA tells you, because while it says this is possible, it doesn't actually work in game. Maybe this is something we can sue Altera for. I mean, we have to get that money back somehow, right? Moving down the side of the Boneshark's body, we find 2 large fins to help the creature move through the water. These fins have a sharp spine at their centre, which likely exists as a defence measure against other Bonesharks or predators from attacking one of its body's weaker points. The Boneshark ends with a bony fluke tail. This is likely formed in this way as a protective measure, but I could see this point doing some serious damage if something tried to attack the creature from behind. When a Boneshark has you in its sights, the creature will unleash a mighty screech and charge forward. This gives you 2 options, fight or flight. If you choose to run, without a sea glide, Bonesharks are able to catch you as they are incredibly quick. A safer bet would be to swim in circles until the creature loses interest, or blast them away using a repulsion cannon. If you instead choose to fight, as the creatures only have 200 HP, it is possible to beat one if you're prepared, as they are weaker than stalkers and sandsharks. Bonesharks also seem to have a particular dislike of sea moths and prawn suits, with the creatures becoming even more aggressive, attacking the vehicles over most other things in the area. As with most other creatures on 45-46B, Bonesharks reproduce by laying eggs, which can be found in the bulb zone, mushroom forest, and the underwater islands. These eggs can be hatched to create tamed Bonesharks, which are passive to the player. These tamed Bonesharks and their eggs can be fed to your bioreactor to power your base, with the sharks providing 630 energy and the eggs providing 210. The Boneshark is possibly related to a number of other creatures on the planet, with one relatively recent common ancestor believed to be the Sandshark, as they share similar segmented exoskeletons. This could also make the creature a distant relative of the biter, rock grub, and blighter through its ancient connection to the long extinct research specimen Theta found in the disease research facility. The Boneshark shares common skeletal structures with Theta through its large armor plating, but the lack of twin eyes on the Boneshark suggests the creature may have diverged from Theta long before the Sandshark, which shares this trait. During Subnautica's development, the Boneshark had some surprising cousins. Not that the creatures looked similar or even evolved in a similar way, but because they shared a brain. In early stages of development, both the Sea Emperor and the River Prowler both used the AI of the Boneshark. Let's all be thankful that didn't make it into the full release, as a highly aggressive Sea Emperor would have been absolutely terrifying. During development, the creatures also used to live in the grassy plateaus, but this was later removed. The Boneshark was also much smaller for most of the game's early access period, as the creatures were accidentally made half the size they should have been. This was later fixed in the 2017 Voice of the Deep update, where they were scaled to the correct size and then given an additional 10% increase on top of that. Prior to this update, the creatures were also able to attack the Cyclops, but this was removed at this point. Whoa, what was that? It looks like we're being ambushed by a Sandshark. If you don't want this thing's teeth embedded in your arm, you'll need to click right here to watch this video next to make sure you have all the info you need to fight it off. And special thanks to my patrons, Asmodeus Matthias, Graham DeLoye, Baron Windy, and Xander Kohler for making this video possible.